Hello friends. New Zealand is a country located in Oceania, with an area of about 268,021 square kilometers, with a population of only 4.8 million people. Because of its isolated location, the island nation is one of the last places on Earth to be settled by humans. When it comes to New Zealand, we will immediately think of a sheep country. Because they have a lot of sheep. On average, each resident owns about 6 sheep. Sheep farming dates back to the 1850s, and has played an important role in New Zealand's economy ever since. For several decades, wool from sheep accounted for more than a third of New Zealand's exports. In addition, the country also raises dairy cows more than its population, with about 6.4 million cows. In fact, New Zealand's population makes up only 5% of the island's livestock. There is another iconic New Zealand animal, the kiwi bird. Birds have wings but cannot fly. They are the largest egg-laying species, when compared to body size, and can live from 25 to 50 years. The name of this bird is used to give the kiwi fruit, a fruit with a skin that closely resembles the feathers of the kiwi bird and is native to China. If someone asks you, where is the clearest natural water, think of Nelson Blue Lake in New Zealand. It's really. So much so that you can see the bottom with the naked eye, at a depth of 7 m. The clarity of the lake is roughly comparable to that of purified water in the laboratory. In New Zealand, there is a religion like no other, called the Jedi. With more than 50,000 followers of this religion. This religion originated from the movie Star Wars. In it, the Jedi are the main characters in the film, holding the Force, having supernatural abilities. The Jedi Order is an organization for overcoming, transforming thinking and consciousness, academic nature and respect for talents. And somewhat militaristic, has been around for a long time. You may not know, the movie Lord of the Rings was filmed entirely in New Zealand, in 275 days. It is considered one of the greatest and most influential films ever made. It is one of the highest grossing series of all time, with $2.981 billion. Not only that, thanks to the beautiful scenes in the film, New Zealand has been known to many people. And helped develop the tourism industry. So much so that they appointed a Lord of the Rings minister in the government. It was his responsibility to take advantage of the travel opportunities the film provided. Currently, tourism accounts for about 24% of New Zealand's exports. One more thing, if you love King Kong, it was also shot in New Zealand. Like Australia, New Zealand was formerly a colony of the British Empire, until full independence was passed through the 1988 Constitution. However, the current head of state is still the Queen of England. But the real power rests with the Prime Minister. Because of its special relationship with the United Kingdom, New Zealand uses 2 national anthems. One is, God Save the Queen, the national anthem of Great Britain. The second is, God Defend New Zealand, with national identity. Besides New Zealand, Denmark is the second country, with 2 national anthems. According to the World Bank, in 2019, New Zealand had an average purchasing power parity GDP of $43,953. If based on this number, New Zealand is the 28th country in the world in terms of wealth. However, when taking into account the average wealth per adult, New Zealand would be the 6th richest country in the world. With each person owning $304,124. Although it is a relatively small country in terms of population, New Zealand also has a large contribution to the world economy. Last year's gross domestic product was $204.6 billion. In which, exports accounted for 18.6% of GDP. Exports are mainly related to the agricultural sector. Currently, agriculture accounts for about 6.6% of GDP. Industry accounts for 19.2% of GDP. Major industries include log production, food processing, components manufacturing, mining, transport equipment and construction. The service sector accounts for 65.6% of GDP. Main services include banking, real estate and tourism. In terms of military, New Zealand has a relatively modest force and ranks 79th in the world. However, recently they have increased spending and procurement of weapons. Specifically, in 2020, the budget for defense is $4.3 billion, a rather large number for a small country. In addition, they also plan to use $20 billion to buy new military equipment. At the same time, increase the number of troops in the defense force. There are 3 reasons why this country suddenly increased its military strength. First, New Zealand's exclusive economic zone covers more than 4 million square kilometers, 15 times the size of the mainland. And to protect precious marine resources, they need more forces to fight poaching. Second, the increase in numbers is mainly to respond to climate change. In New Zealand, tornadoes are becoming more frequent and severe. At the same time, sea level rises. Therefore, the army is an important force to assist people in overcoming the consequences of natural disasters. The third reason is one of the most important. That is the increase of China's military presence in the South Pacific. The island countries in Oceania have borrowed a lot of money from China to develop infrastructure. And some of them are not able to repay. Therefore, New Zealand and Australia, the 2 most powerful countries in the region, fear that China will use that debt to demand the establishment of military bases. Those are the reasons New Zealand has a desire to increase military power more than ever. Video ends here. Thank you all for watching and liking it. If you find the video useful, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to support us. Goodbye and see you again.